My name's Jay. This is This Week with Coffee, episode 7. Doing This Week with Coffee without coffee yet again because I'm doing this late. There's one thing you know about me, I am an extreme procrastinator. I put off filming this video for the last 2 hours today. I'm doing this at, to be completely honest, about 11 o'clock at night. Let's just say I should have done this before. I want to open up this video by saying I have finally bit the bullet. I have finally seen the signs of all the people talking about this particular book, saying how great it is, saying it's the best book they've ever read, saying it's the Western of all Westerns, saying it's one of the most enjoyable reads they've ever had. How you'll fall in love with the characters, how you can smell the dirt, you can feel the sweat with the heat in the summertime of this particular area. And that book is Lonesome Dove. And let me tell you, I am only 4 chapters, 50 pages into this book, and let me tell you, the hype is real. I can smell the desert. I'm in Arizona, so I know what the desert smells like. I know what that gross heat feels like in the summertime when you're outside. And reading this book, you can truly, really feel and understand kind of what these characters are going through with this just the descriptive masterpiece that Larry McMurtry has put together. Now, prior to this book, I had read Leaving Cheyenne, which I had absolutely, completely loved from the first page to the end of it. It was an amazing read that I started out 2025 with. And if you haven't read Leaving Cheyenne, but you've read Lonesome Dove, read Leaving Cheyenne too. I think you're going to love it. Maybe not as much as Lonesome Dove, because I've heard some pretty high praise about that thing. But if you like Lonesome Dove and you loved it so much, Leaving Cheyenne will be a nice thing for you to read and to just kind of get sucked into that Western world that so many people are a fan of. Now, the book that I had just read before this, I don't have it in here, but was Dungeon Crawler Carl. I really wanted to read the second book of that series. The first one, I had a lot of fun reading it. It's extremely enjoyable, but this one was just speaking to me. It's been on my shelf for so long, and this monster is just sitting there like, you ever gonna read me? Come on. You've heard so many good things. Pick it up. That's why I gave in and I did that. It's gonna take me a long time to read because I only read about maybe 5 at the least to 15, 20 minutes at night. And that just keeps it enjoyable. It doesn't keep it like any sort of a stressful thing to try and keep up with the Joneses of the book content world, because I try to do that and that's just not me. And when I get sucked into that world, I just try and read so much till I don't even remember all of it, and it becomes not enjoyable. It feels like school. It feels like a job. And when I read, I want to escape from the realities of my life. Not that I have a bad life, but, I want to escape for a little while. I want to check out. I want to read something slowly to be in the world for a little bit, understand it, remember the details of it, because just flipping through pages and not retaining anything just is stupid, and I don't want to do that anymore. So it's going to take me a while, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to pressure myself to try and be a fast reader so I can quickly jump on my phone and tell you how I also love the book to join the thousands of other people who have already told you the same story about why you should read it. A couple other things. I talked a ton about analog media, and I'm keeping up with that trend and buying more analog media as I see it on my weekly Goodwill trips. The family loves Goodwill. The wife loves Goodwill for decorations, for plates, and vintage whatever else that we can find that the Goodwill employees haven't sifted through and sold it on offer up before we get a chance to look at it. If you don't believe me, they do that. Look it up. And so to keep up with that trend of analog media, I got some more. I got Leon Bridges' CD, which you've probably heard the song Coming Home. For 99 cents, it's a pretty solid bargain, and I'm getting my CD collection up there. Another thing that I bought is another tape, and I got Paul Simon Graceland. Now, did I get it because I am a huge Paul Simon fan? No. I know that on Apple Music, this is one of his core albums to listen to, and so I thought, this would be a pretty solid one to have in the tape collection, so I bought it, and I'll listen to it eventually, and I'm sure some songs will be on there that I'll like and that I'll enjoy. But will this be my number one rotated and played tape? Probably not. Add that one to the collection too. We're building up the tape collection and we're building up the CD collection. We're in the 90s now, baby. We are doing it. All right. A couple other things. This past week, I had a lot going on this past weekend. It was my wife's birthday on Friday, and it was Mother's Day on Sunday. So I was busy. And it's also my birthday. Went to the baseball game with my wife. We bought these little mini season tickets for the Diamondbacks thing, so she was super pumped for that. Had really legit seats. And they lost, but it was still a fun experience. My wife and I both love baseball, love being at the ballpark. Any chance we can go to see a game, we're all about it. And so we took advantage of that for her birthday. And then Mother's Day was just kind of a really nice and easy, low-key day at the house. I got the wife out of here. I said, go get a pedicure. Go do something for yourself. Just go be by yourself. Don't be around us. Don't parent. Don't make decisions. Don't cook. Don't clean. Whatever else that she does. I just wanted us to get out of the house and get out of your routine. Spend some alone time with yourself. And that's what she did. She told me she had a good time. We actually had a great time at the house. The kids played. I put them to work. I did some chores. I didn't really enjoy that. But hey, being bored is a luxury. And so they were not bored when they were here with me. And when they got bored, they were put to work. And they still had fun. And then my mom came over, my dad, and my parents, my sisters. Everyone came over, my sister's boyfriend. And we just hung out. My mom made me chicken casserole, which is the best thing that she makes. My all-time favorite meal. Got some birthday gifts. Got this card from my parents with a little bit of cash in there. Or actually a gift card to Cowtown Skateboards. How many of you guys remember that place? Seeing all the different boards of the skaters that you like, and all the gear and all the clothes, and I love it so much. So I feel like a little kid going back to there, and then my wife told my mom to get me a gift card. So boom, I'm gonna go get some more stuff for my skateboard. I'm actually gonna have 2 skateboards. I'm gonna have a skateboard I'm gonna learn tricks on eventually, and I'm gonna have another one that's gonna be a cruiser. And then my in-laws gave me a card too with some more money, man. So I just got hooked up. All right, so last couple things. So this last video I made, week 6, I talked about this journal. I talked about May tracking. Let me just say we are off to a slow roll with getting some of this stuff done. And I'm kind of slipping into some old patterns that I'm not really enjoying. Like I've been staying up late to do this creative stuff, make these videos, write Substack articles, journal, do all the cool creative things that I've been loving. And now I'm finding myself finding excuses to do it. Not because I don't want to, just because it requires a little bit of work, and I'm trying to check out with some dopamine releases of YouTube or whatever other BS that's out there instead of doing the work and getting the satisfaction from completing these things. So I'm kind of having a week-long setback, I guess you could say, but I'm trying to get this week to be a week where I get everything back on track. I got some work stress that's just been kind of pissing me off this last week. A lot of big projects, a lot of stress, a lot of long times at the office, and it's just been weighing on me, and I really haven't wanted to think about any other work when I come home. So my creative stuff has kind of been getting beat up, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel with this week. I have a project due tomorrow that is a really big one that I'm going to get off my workload, and then I'm kind of into the more managerial type of things, helping other estimators with their stuff so I can step away from the day-to-day. And I hope it's going to help bring my creative stuff back. And the last thing I'll say is that with making these types of videos, I've been making a lot of short form content on YouTube and Instagram as well. I'm really starting to feel kind of the creative juices getting there. I haven't got super creative. I haven't really super found, my thing and what it's going to be. But what this is doing is kind of forced me to think more outside the box. And I went down the history, YouTube, the YouTube history videos of Casey Neistat stuff. And Casey had a video where he talked about how he vlogs. And one of the biggest things, the biggest takeaways that he said is that authenticity is the most important thing. If you take exactly what he does and you try and recreate it, then you've already lost. What you do is you build your creative process, for lack of better terms, he says. You build your creative process through watching other YouTubers or other creative people, and you kind of build on what they've already done and make it your own. I'm kind of on the cusp of starting to find my own little rhythm and how I'm going to do things with these social accounts. Gone 8 weeks strong with making content, 7 weeks strong technically 8 weeks strong in making these videos. I only missed one because I was sick, but we got some good traction going. And I think I said May, despite the setbacks, May is going to be a really solid month. We're going to get the goal tracking dialed in that book that I just held up, getting back in the creative process. We're getting big projects off of our workload at the office. I'm going to be reading some good books. And we're going to crush May. I can't wait to make more videos talking about how successful everything is going to be. Delusionally optimistic for great things to come for this month. For myself, as well as for you if you watch this. We're magnets for miracles, man. I'm a magnet for miracle. I'm going to get shit done. Going to do some cool stuff. So, hope you follow along. I'll catch you for week 8 next week. Peace.